I'm a low EQ person. I'm not desirable as a friend or even as a partner.
Hello, welcome to our very first podcast. You are not an NPC. Okay, so I think very first episode, want to know why we came up with this name. Sounds stupid. Why did we get here? What does it mean to you? And later on, I'll share what it means to me.
We talked about what we cared about, right? Which is how we wanted people to feel. So much content out there, right? If you were to put content out there, right, what do you want people to feel?
We went through the whole exercise of inspiration, whether we want to talk about business, and we landed up with believing that you can be the best version of yourself.
What we ended up with was we wanted to put content out there that gives people a feeling that they can be the person that they want to be, whatever that means to them. What that feeling meant to us is the idea that you are not your programming, right? You are not your set of attributes that you think you are given. A lot of people think that they are born with certain attributes in life and that's not changeable. And that is so far from the truth, right? Like, given what we've experienced, given the things we've believed ourselves that has been changed. I used to believe I'm a low EQ person, that I'm not a sociable person, that I can't be an extrovert, that I'm not desirable as a friend or even as a partner, right? But I realized all of these things can be changed, right? How we act, our so-called personalities are just a set of responses that we have, right, as an initial response to the world that we adopted, and this became our personality. But this can be changed.
Yeah, it's a bit like a game, right?
Right.
So the way I think about it is everybody is born with certain things that you can't control, right? Your genes, your height, and as you're growing up, you go through experiences, happiness, trauma, everything that form what you believe is you, right? And I think the beauty about the game of life is same like a game. Every day you have skill points, and every day you can add to whatever skill points you want to add, right? And the belief is that we can do that. And through our experience, I think a lot of times people see us change and they wonder, like, how are you able to do that? How can I know you last year and this year and it feels so different?
Right.
And to me, that was just me adding skill points to places that I feel that I want to be or the person that I want to evolve into.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
People's transformation is because they added skill points into places that they want to, right? You've seen a lot of transformation videos, but like on physical fitness.
Right.
But you've seen also a lot of like character changes.
Right.
Yeah, whether they were put into a different environment or they actively go and work on it. We've seen enough of those and we have experienced a lot of those to kind of know that everything can be changed, like everything can be learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess it's called, you're not an NPC because what is an NPC, right? NPC is a character with a fixed set of attributes that don't change.
Yes.
Right? But we are not NPCs, right? We don't have a fixed set of attributes that we can't change.
Yeah.
Right? All of us should think of ourselves as main characters, right? And what does the main character means? You can, like you said, put skill points into things that matters to you.
Yeah.
You can go to the skeleton being raised and like reset your skill points, right? You can be born a goblin race but choose to be a knight class. Right? You have that option, right? You are not your fixed you're not your set of attributes that you think you're fixed with. Right?
So I think one of your favorite lines is reality is negotiable. Yeah, I think back ago theater, I hear you say that, I'm like, why you need to say things like so grand, like damn disgusting. But like I think we've seen enough to believe that like you don't accept what is reality, right? Reality is formed by who? Like by whose standards? You just by whose standards, right? Or like some social norm. Like what is a social norm? Like not clear, right? You then start to make decisions based on what you think can be right, right? And it starts from the small things, like if a shop closed, you wanna go in and like, hey, got one last piece or not? Can you sell me?
Yes.
Right? Like to the big things, like people think that you cannot build a company.
Right.
And then we managed to do it, right? Like all this starts from believing that you are not NPC, you are main character.
Because main character craft their own reality, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Being an NPC means you only have a fixed set of response.
Yes.
You can't change the world around
Yeah,
you.
you can't change your fate,
You can't change your fate. You can only respond to things.
Yes.
You can only react to things. You can't choose your response of how you want to shape the world around you and yourself.
Yeah. So I was thinking through this, right? I actually did an exercise, and I don't think it's a story that I've ever shared with you before. But when I was looking at what point in my life did I believe that I had to be in control of my own destiny. And when I thought back, right, it was at a pool party in my Sec 4 graduation. So in this pool party, I was preparing to go to this party, right?
Right.
Everybody was very excited. I was wearing this very bright orange tee with a big 8 in front.
Ooh,
I had ripped
cool kid.
jeans. Wow, bro. I was trying so hard. I thought I
were
was
a cool
cool.
kid.
Yeah. So I was wearing these jeans that were ripped. Not ripped to gangster, but like ripped just a bit, right? And like Converse shoes. Back then, I thought
Enough
that
to
was
be cool, but not stand out too much.
Yes. I was very excited for this party because it was at one of my female friends' condo. But more importantly, the people that invited me were the cool boys. And the leader came to invite me over to the party. Throughout my whole secondary school life, I was being bullied. I was fat, I had acne, I didn't know how to talk to people, I felt that I didn't belong. So when he invited me over, right, I felt like, wow, this is my chance to get into the in group. So I was like super excited, and like this is where I found fun. Right? This is where I changed my game. So I went over. It was a very nice party. All the girls were dressed in sundresses. Then the boys were like in those beach shorts, Havanas. Remember back then, Havanas was super popular.
Oh, that was a shit.
One of the girls went to take a photo, and 3, 2, 1, I felt a force pull me.
Ooh.
And then like I dropped into the pool.
Ooh.
And then at that point in time, right, through the very watery surface, I could see them like laughing hysterically.
Right.
Like clenching their stomach on their knees and just like laughing. In my head, I was like, I'm so gullible. I'm an idiot. I cannot believe that I am here to experience this. On the other hand, that was fighting with that thought, right? Boys are boys, right?
Right.
I'm finally in.
Right.
I'm finally in the group because
Right.
a large part of my life wish that they made fun of me so that I can belong. Right?
It's
And
like you're trying to figure out whether they're laughing at you or laughing with you.
the first feeling was a lot stronger. Lah. And as I came up from the water, the whole gush of their laugh became louder.
Ooh.
But I forced like every fiber of my being to pull on a smile. And like because I wish that the second part was true. Right? So I came up, and then one of the girls was scolding them, and then she handed me a towel. I went through like, it's okay, kind of like we had fun kind of thing, but I went to the toilet. Never sprint, but hurried enough so that nobody can. I went to a cubicle, and then like I sat down, and then I bawled.
Right.
Like, I cried, and then I was like still fighting that feeling.
Right.
And I probably spent a good 15-20 minutes inside, dried myself off, and I came out and I looked into the mirror, and I was like, the pinks in my eye whites, right, is pink enough that I can probably pull off as like the water went in. So I was like ready, okay, like put on the smile, I'm ready to go. And so I went to the toilet, and I opened the door, and then it was empty.
Ooh.
Everybody went home.
Oh.
And it was at that point in time that I decided that I will never ever let my happiness be hinged on other people. Like, I need to change myself. That was when I started to go to the gym. That was when I decided that when I go poly, I will be the most attention-seeking, the most friendly person ever. And that is what people know me for. People know me for as, in poly and uni, right, the person that is like social attention, right? Like everybody knows me. But the reality is, I decided that I wanted to change my life. And at that point in time was when I started to believe in that main character energy. In that, yeah, like I can do the things that I want to change. And when I went on, I was like 120% energy. I'll be fit because fit seems cool. I'll be smart because smart seems cool. I will study because like studying seems cool. Like all these things was decided there and then at that moment.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right. It took me way longer to realize that. And I think it's beautiful. That's one of the things I admire about you.
Right.
I remember, like, I told you, like, the first time I met you, I didn't like you because you were super attention seeking.
Right.
Right? But I realized part of it is, a lot of these things when you don't like a person is a projection.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't like you because, like, I couldn't be that guy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I realize when people don't like attention seeking, it's probably because they don't know how to get attention themselves, and, like, they probably wish they had some of that.
Right,
But it's
right.
like, yeah, this guy is too outstanding for me and I don't like him. Again, like, that's one of the things I really respect about you, right? Like, all these, like, I've been dealt difficult cards, but your coping mechanism has always been very productive. Very useful coping mechanism. Yeah. Which I guess leads back to this point, right? Like, what we think of as our personalities are really coping mechanisms that we initially come up with in response to a trigger, a stimuli.
Yeah.
Right? And that is not always the most productive or most helpful response that you have. But not everyone has. And I think the point, if there's one message we hope
Yeah.
to bring across is that that's changeable, right? If your initial response to, like, people laughing at you is to withdraw back into your shell, know that that's not a personality, right? That's not who you are. It is a response you have adopted that you can change if you want to.
Yeah. That moment was the inception of a lot of things when I did this reflection. I haven't tried to figure out why was I so lucky to always choose the most productive option. But at that point in time to me, it's either I continue to live in misery and have the future ahead of me to still be living in that fear, or how do I get rid of it?
Right.
Right. And in order to get rid of it, I didn't care because what was before was worse.
There were people talking about how bullying actually has a social function. Like, we all think bullying is bad, right? But bullying is actually, the argument goes, right, that bullying is actually a function that helps people who are socially very off, right, better adhere to the norm. Right?
So you're correcting the outliers.
You are correcting the outliers to some extent, right? Again, you want outliers in a society, which is, I'm not passing value judgment. All I'm saying is one strain of argument goes that, hey, it helps to correct really outlier, really antisocial behavior.
Right.
Because when you act in an antisocial behavior, I'm not saying outlier is bad, I'm saying antisocial behavior, you get bullied, which is a corrective mechanism.
Yeah. The other argument is also that your bullying or people that are deemed successful, typically it comes from either a chip on the shoulder or like a pain that they have went through that forced that radical change.
Right.
Yeah. Like, if you have everything in your life, right? If you have a happy family, you have kids, you have like money, you have everything else, there is no real pain for you to want to like change. Like, it's very difficult for the environment to encourage a change or a behavior that would want you to like kind of push forward to do more. Yeah. Like, how does that look like? I'm not sure. But yeah, like I can imagine if I'm born in like silver spoon and like rich and like I have very healthy family and friends, the inertia to kind of go for more and like improve and all those things will feel a lot smaller compared to if I have nothing.
Yes.
And like I'll be like, oh yeah, that mountain seems high.
Yes.
Every step that I go feels like a progress from where I've been. Yeah.